All right, welcome back for another episode of Farmer's Dynasty. What we're doing right now is we're actually on this mission, if you will, with Lydia, Shy Lydia, up in the top left. It's got her labeled, which is pretty funny. Shy Lydia is going to give me that fertilizer spreader if I'll go talk to some guy that she likes. All right, and yeah, for one, it's cool to like knock out the missions or whatever. But what I wanted to highlight on this mission specifically was fast travel using the bus stops. So I'm up here in the top left corner. And if you played Farmer's Dynasty at all, you know traveling around the map can be really slow and sort of arduous as things go in the game. So Lydia's got me up here. And she wants me to go talk to this guy for her because she's shy and whatever. All right. Well, the guy, let me see, he is down here. So in real time, driving from here to here is probably going to be probably 3 to 5 minutes to drive down here, like actual physically real world time. And then I think I have to drive, I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to get back up here to pick up the fertilizer spreader. That's another 3 to 5 minutes. So you could be talking about 6 to 10 minutes in game time, really just driving back and forth. You know, it's fun if you're playing a game and it's exciting, but some of this stuff is just not exciting. So I want to point out there's a bus stop here, real close to Lydia's house. And then there is a bus stop here, real close to the place where it's got me traveling. So with these bus stops, what I can do now, instead of driving 2,000 meters, I can drive 400 meters over to this bus stop. And just to give you, well, no, I'll just kind of show you this and then I'll tell you what I'm up to. I've got a few things going on around the farm. Right now, I'm still at that phase where I'm trying to collect all of the starter equipment, but I don't honestly want most of the starter equipment. So I'll show you in a little bit. I'm actually taking some of the equipment over to the closest farm store. And early game, it's really important. I mean, I'm still early to this game myself, but it's really important to get as much money as you can early in the game, because that allows you to expand more quickly, right? It's kind of like real life too. Like just getting that first few dollars in the bank is, you know, so important to opening up your options. So now I'm going to be able to fast travel. I think, shoot, I kind of forgot where he was. I think he's down here. It really doesn't matter because bus stop fast traveling is free. And so if you mess up, all you got to do is hop back in the bus stop. So let me see where, did I go? No, I went way too far south. So no big deal. Just hop back in the bus stop and move up here, right? So again, it's totally free. You don't have to worry about messing up. You can kind of move around the map a little bit. You can also sort of hack fast traveling with, I'm just going to walk over here, right? It's just right beside the bus stop. You can kind of hack fast traveling with vehicles because you can pop from like truck to tractor to harvester. It helps, but in early game, you're not going to have many vehicles, so you can't do too much of that.
Can I help you?
So I'm just talking to this guy real quick, part of this mission, basically just saying that Shy Lydia, I think, wants to take him dancing or something. Yeah, ask her to a dance this Saturday. Anyway, I just kind of moved through the talk track. A lot of the talk track in Farmer's Dynasty it's really forced. It feels like it might even be computer generated. So not even like real speakers, but just some of the enunciation and the way they say it is super strange. While I'm here, sometimes you'll get social points. Whoa, she turned around quick. Social points just for talking to people. I'm going to see if I can talk to her. Yeah, see, I got 54 social points in the top left just for talking to her. I don't know if you get bonus points for hitting the prompts here, but I just like to hit them anyway. All right, so now, you know, I could be at this place where I'm driving another 2,000 meters back to Lydia, but instead using, again, the bus stop. I'm just going to head over here, hop to the bus stop, and then I'm going to go back up and visit Lydia. And, you know, obviously, if you bring your tractor over, it stays right where it was. So now, because I had the tractor with me at the bus stop, I can hop right back in it and head over to Lydia. And you can see how that went from sort of this thing where I'm driving this tractor down these roads for an extended amount of time to just taking the bus, popping over there. It just speeds things up. To me, it makes the game more enjoyable. So do whatever you want to do. If you'd rather not ride the bus, you want to take your tractor. There's Becky over there. Becky's going to be my girlfriend. I'm going to make her my wife, and then hopefully she's going to do some cooking. And that's going to be helpful for making a little money on the side. Get a wife and get her cooking. All right, so we're almost back over here to Lydia, and then I'll kind of show you what I'm up to with trying to get some money earlier in game.
I am so happy.
Oh, that's wonderful, Lydia. Got yourself a man or something. Got yourself a dance for Saturday, I think. All right, I earned the fertilizer spreader. So now I'm just going to head over here and grab this. And if you've been watching my videos at all, you'll know I don't really want the fertilizer spreader. It's really inexpensive. Number one, if you want full harvest on a field, you have to use a fertilizer spreader and spread manure from your cows. Well, you can only have 9 cows. They barely produce any manure. So once you get a few fields, you're not going to have enough anyway. Again, you can only have 9 cows, so they barely produce any milk. And yeah, it helps with some cash flow, but cows are also really expensive. They're like $500 a pop, and it's not cheap to get going with them. And fertilizer is not necessarily cheap either, so I've got to use manure on the fields, then I've got to buy fertilizer for the fields, and it's only about $400 to pay a plane to fly over, which spreads, I think they call it like this X fertilizer, like super fertilizer, but basically it does manure and fertilizer at the same time, so you don't have to run 2 machines over your field with gas, paying for fertilizer, paying for cows, getting manure, feeding them hay, like all this kind of stuff you don't have to do. Now, if you want to play as like a purist and you just want to do all those aspects of the game, I get it. But for me, I'm going to get an even, I hope, maybe I'll regret this, but I'm going to get an even bigger benefit of I'm taking my manure spreader that I unlocked, I'm taking the grass mower that came with the property that was already in the barn when you start the game, and I'm taking this fertilizer spreader and I'm taking all of these to a farm store, and I'm going to sell them to increase my cash early in game. I've got 15,000, almost 16,000 euros right now, so I'm in a good spot, but I think I checked and I think the field that I want to buy is 25,000 euros. So I got to step it up a little bit, make a little bit of extra cash, and I'm hoping selling these spreaders, well, I don't expect them to sell for much. I'm hoping $1,000 to $2,000 each. So if I can get 1,500 each, sell 3 different tools, then I'm hoping I can get about $4,500. And then I've got a little bit of canola left over from a harvest that I did, that I think I can sell for about $1,500. So I think, as long as I'm not, over assuming with how much I'm going to sell these things for, I think I can get about $6,000 pretty quickly. And that's going to, take me up to about 22,000. So I'm going to be real close on having access to that new field. And once I get that new field, I'm interested. I'm going to harvest it. I'm going to sell it. I'm interested in how much I'm going to make on that. So we're going to go check it out. So we're going to sell the stuff. I think we'll go ahead and sell the wagon of canola. We'll figure that out in a second. And then we're going to get busy seeing if we can get a new field. And that kind of just amps us up for next year. I think, in my head at least, having more fields is going to make more sense. At least the way I want to play the game. Like, field work is kind of where I want to spend my time, as opposed to, well, where else could you spend your time, right? I could do greenhouses, just growing plants and keeping them watered. not really what I want to do. So anyway, I think field work is where I want to spend most of my time playing this game. All right. So I've got these lined up, and I lined them up like this. So these are the 3 machines. Let me see here. So these are the 3 machines I want to sell, and I lined them up like this because when you sell a machine, you can buy it back. And so I lined them up so that, like, basically if I want to buy those back in the future, they're just kind of lined up like they're for sale, because they basically are for sale. Like, as soon as I sell them, they're basically for sale. So I'm going to sell the grass mower. So it's going to give me 1,100. So I'm up to 17,000 euros. I was hoping for 1,500 average, so I need a 2,000 hitter. All right, 1,500, not bad. You know, that's what I was hoping for on average. Come on, hit me for 2. Come on, buddy. Oh, 6,000. That is fantastic. Why? Okay, whatever. I'll take it. That is way more than I expected. So, I mean, I'm impressed. I feel like, did I miss something? I'm going to, let's see what happens if I buy it back. See, if I buy it back, it's double what I sold it for. So they're going to hit me with a penalty. I can use social points, but if you've watched me play at all, I'm really conservative about my social points. You have to have 50,000 social points in order to hire someone to do work on your field. It's just sort of like a threshold. So the way I look at it is I only have 13,000 social points because I'm not touching the 50. So if I wanted to buy this back, I'm going to have to use all those my 13,000 social points. So be thoughtful before you sell stuff. I think I've been thoughtful, right? But I don't know. I think I have. Hopefully I have, because it happened. I'm not going to sell the Jack Bear, but let's just see. Man, this thing's about as much as a fertilizer spreader. I feel like they overpriced that on the sell, but you know, I will absolutely take it. So now I'm actually in real good shape. I've got a head, you know, I'm going to check real quick. You know, I was just mentioning to you about greenhouses and how those are actually a good way to make solid money. I don't know how much greenhouses cost. So I'm just going to see as a comparison, you know, like if I'm going to go buy a field for $25,000 and I haven't been in game long enough to know what, for instance, like zucchini or tomatoes or pumpkins sell for. But let's see. I want to buy, okay, greenhouse for sale. So is it one or do I get both? I mean, that's a big greenhouse. Okay. And it's pricey. You can buy this greenhouse group for 114,000 euros. You cannot afford it. No, I know. That's life. That's my life. I get it. Okay, so 114,000. You get these 2 monster greenhouses. So we'll figure that out later in game. But just for just so you know, I don't know. I know I can get more silos. I don't think that's going to make me any money. It's just about having storage locations close to other fields. So I think it's really just greenhouses and fields are going to be your major money makers. They cap you at like 20 chickens. They cap you at 9 cows. So you're never going to have like this dynasty of chicken egg cells or cow milk cells. They just kind of cap you out, and I'm hoping they'll expand that. But at least I'm on console. So it may be different on PC. You know, I know PC gets updates more regularly, but you know, I see a greenhouse here for sale, here for sale. I figured there would be one on the south side. There's one kind of over here to the west and another one to the west, or southwest and west. So you could pretty well expand out to, it looks like 4 additional greenhouses on top of the ones that are already at your house. So you could have a pretty good vegetable, whatever you want to call it, dynasty. I'm just going to call everything a dynasty because of the name of this game. Okay, so we're going to head home. We are very pleased with ourselves. See how happy we are? Very happy. All right, we are very pleased with ourselves. And we're going to head on back home. And then what I'm going to do actually is I've got my eye on a couple of fields as I go through this really weird area that's totally cleared out. This is where I sell most of my goods, is over here I'll start. So over here is where I sell most of my goods, and you will too if you're early game. And I've got these two fields to my name. Let's see, right here. And I want to expand the farm towards where I sell the goods. So I really have my eye on these 3, maybe 4 fields. I mean, maybe this 5th one up here, but you know, that's a few seasons out. So here and here. So I'm going to look at these fields, and what I'm interested in is, are they barren, like this field that I'm on right now, or are they already ready to harvest? Because if they're already ready to harvest, then I can buy them, harvest them, go ahead and sell, and I'll have a good amount of income. I mean, I'm really interested to see if the field will just about pay for itself. I'll also say our starter fields came with canola and wheat. And the canola brought in more money than the wheat. And the wheat required me to also pick up the hay bales. And I'm not doing cows because they're not, I can't figure that they're very profitable, even though they're fun and you can make money and there's ROI and like, yeah, that's cool, but they're not that profitable. And it's just another daily farm chore. So if you're into that, cool. That's not really, it's not clicking for me right now, so I'm not going to go for that. So I'm going to go for expanding the fields. And so what I want to do, all I have to say, what I want to do is, you see how these fields are growing different things, and I can hold down engineer side, R1 on PC, F1, I believe on, or sorry, F1 on PC, R1 on console, or PlayStation. That has lupine for sale, already ready on that field. I'm not quite to where I'm actually going to look yet. This one is, what is here? Maize, so corn. And really what I want to I wanted to either have peas, maybe lupine, I'll have to check, and then, or canola. Those are the 3 I'm kind of looking for. What I don't really want to see is wheat or barley. So that is wheat, because I just don't think I can sell it for enough, plus the delivery point, instead of being here, close to the homestead, the delivery point to get the best price is all the way down here. And again, that's another, you know, it's just an unenjoyable long haul drive in an early game to sell the wheat and the barley for the right price. So I'd rather stick here and get canola at almost 700, peas at almost 900, or lupine around 700. So, I mean, if it's up to me, and it is, I'm going to buy a field that is ready to harvest and either has canola, lupine, which I don't know what lupine is, or what was the third one? Peas. So we'll see. We're going to pop up, but you can see this is the drop-off point for your harvest. So this is where you come to drop off the harvest, and it just makes it real quick and smooth. Like, if I was this close to my drop-off point, I don't feel the need to buy a new trailer, grain trailer, so quickly. And I think a lot of people who play this game, the first thing they get is the grain trailer because of the delivery points. And I don't think you need a grain trailer, in my opinion. Whatever, we all play the way we want to play, but where'd my star go? Oh, what did I pass the field? Oh no, I've got the wrong thing marked. All right, I gotta go. I'm gonna look at these 3 fields now. All right. But yeah, I don't think, for me at least, I don't want the grain trailer early. I don't want to spend money on that. I want to spend money on fields instead of like whatever it is, like $10,000 or more on a grain trailer. If I can basically just be right beside, buy fields right beside the drop-off point. So that's my goal. So field number 1 we are looking at. I'm not going to buy this one because it is not ready to harvest, right? Like, that might be a good one for next year, but I have a feeling that as the seasons go by, this will suddenly be ready to harvest, and then I can buy it when it's ready to harvest. But let's just see how much it would cost anyway. I didn't even have to get off. I just noticed, but that's okay. This field is, I'm paying full price. I'm not doing my social points, so 31,000 euros. All right, so I don't quite have enough for that one. I don't want it anyway, but I don't quite have enough for it. This one is looking like wheat. So, me being picky, I kind of don't want it either. Let's see if it'll let me look at the field purchase. So this one's 27,000, so I think I could go sell. I've got a little bit of canola and a wagon. I think I could go sell that and buy this field, but I'd really, you know, I'd really rather buy a field that, like I've already talked you to death on, has the type of crop I'm looking for. There's this smaller field over here. What is this? What's going on here? Is this barley? Okay, corn. I think corn prices are pretty bad. Maize, 441. I mean, it's on the low end. I may as well do wheat and take it down here for 529. So yeah, we're not going to do corn either. Again, I don't think it's all or nothing on that. I think it's wait for the season when the field is planted with the crop you want. I don't think I'm going to luck out. That's got to be wheat again. This is one of the fields I was looking at. This is going to be wheat again, which I don't want. I really want to get a field with a good crop that's close to that grain drop point. This looks like wheat again. Everybody's growing wheat. Oh, corn. But this looks like the lupine over here, and that's not too far away, right? I mean, it's not. It's a little closer than our homestead, but you know, at this point now I'm harvesting these two fields, and then I got to drive the harvester over to here. Not the end of the world, but it's also a small field, which is not necessarily what I want to do. I'll take you guys for one more little ride. I might break down and buy one of these wheat fields, even though it's not really what I want to do. But I also don't want to wait until the thing is kind of bite the bullet. I'm not going to go way out of my way and like buy a field a long way away. I'm going to go check these two fields because they're close to my farm, so that'd be kind of an easy hop over. Maybe I'll check along the same lines. I'll check this one too, just to see what's going on there and kind of pick out a field. If one of these has canola, then I'm gonna have to make a decision. I really want to buy these fields I'm at here closer to the grain mill where I can sell. That may not happen for me. We'll see. And I don't want to wait until next season to like just keep hoarding cash and wait until next season, because I can harvest and go ahead and plant the field, and then it'll be ready in the spring. They let you plant winter crops apparently. I'm not sure what the winter crops are. I'll have to look that up when it gets time to plant. I know I could probably do wheat, but I'm hoping again, same think track. I'm hoping I can do a canola or a higher price good. Peas or lupine. Let's see. This doesn't look like any of the things I hate. Is this lupine again? I don't know what that is. Canola. Ooh, that's tough. See, canola's right here. How much is this filled? 23. See, I got enough money to buy this field. Yikes. Guys, we might be buying this field against our better judgment. Which in my mind... Where's the next field down? What am I looking at? Oh, I gotta go around this field and down. Not that it really matters right now, but let me just see as I expand the Dynasty. I'd be heading to see, this is a nice stretch right here. I definitely see it being a good future field, because you could go boom, boom, and be rolling. But again, I'm not real close to the ag market at this point. And I want to be going this direction if possible. But I'm sitting here, man, I know I'm overthinking this like it's a video game, right? I think I'm probably going to buy this field and hopefully pick up one of these 4 next year, and then sort of have to start with these 3 fields over here. To me, it's just a financial situation, because I can pick this field up for, I've got enough money for it. It's growing canola. I can get a good price for it. I think this makes the most sense. So that's what we're gonna run with, guys. We're gonna buy this field, and we are going to we're gonna harvest it, and then we're gonna see how much money we get, and it's gonna be awesome. And we're not gonna live to regret our decision, but what we are gonna do is we're gonna save our game in case we live to regret our decision, and then we're gonna buy the field. So bear with me while I save real quick. All right, we have saved. Field purchase, and we are going to buy it full cash. So we are about broke again, and that's okay. And then another kind of tip here is check and make sure your field is fertilized. See, this field is not fertilized, and I can hire a worker because I have 50,000 social points. I can hire a worker to fertilize this field for $844, and that improves the yield. If I'm not mistaken, I did a quick little test earlier, by about 30 to 40% yield. So I just paid for that. That's going to be really about all my money. I got $894 left. And I'm going to head over. I got to get my grain trailer, and I got to get the harvester. And yeah, we're going to have some fun harvesting this field. There comes my fertilizer. So that is, you'll see here, I'll show you real quick. There goes the fertilizer. I'm now covered in chemicals and manure, apparently. So now if I look at this, I am 200% fertilized, meaning, and I don't know why it lets you do it after the fact, but it does, and I like it, because then I can buy fields, immediately spend $800 to fertilize them. And I don't know how much money I'm going to pull off that field, but it's going to be solid. So we'll see. We'll kind of get a guesstimate here. I'm not going to make you guys watch me harvest that entire field, but we'll get a little guesstimate. I paid somebody to plow this field over here. I don't know what the deal is with these pigs either. I don't think they have any function. That pig is huge. It's about as big as my tractor. I pay them to plow, and they do kind of a bit of a hack job. It's not a big deal, but they do a little bit of a hack job there. I'll clean that up in a little bit, and we're not going to worry about this in this video, but I got to get these fields kind of cleaned up and ready. So I'm going to need this guy. I need my grain. And it's already got canola in it, so it's kind of a good setup. And let's see what we're at. We're at 77% full on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, where's my drop point? I'm going to go drop this off real quick. That'll give us a little cash in hand, and it's going, you know, like optimized, I would go ahead and fill this up with grain. But what I want to do is give us a nice clean look at exactly how much we can expect to make off of that field that we just got. So that was $23,000 to buy that field. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to harvest a load of it, and then we're going to go sell a load and see how much we sell it for. And then I'm going to look at the percentage of the field that's been harvested, and we're going to be able to get a quick idea of about how much the entire field is going to earn us. And then we'll have an idea of sort of ROI on a field. I mean, the ROI is insane on these fields. Like, the fact that I think we might be able to make all of our money back on that field in one harvest is, or at least close to it, is pretty silly, right? So you could harvest that field twice in 1 year and it pays for itself, and now you own a new field. Thinking you might be able to harvest it once and it pay for itself, and then you can buy a new field. So if it's growing canola or lupine or peas or something like that, haven't seen peas planted. I'm wondering if that's a winter crop. You know what? I'm going to pause and I'm going to check real quick, and then we can kind of talk through that. All right, so I just checked, and winter crops. So right now it is August 7th, which is very early game. At the end of September, September 30th, I believe, based on what I read, September 30th is the last day of, let's just call it this season, summer. And when you go to sleep on September 30th, you wake up on April 1st, I think it said. So basically you wake up at the next season. So kind of strange compared to other games. But the important thing there is by September 30th, which is not difficult as long as you don't get distracted, by September 30th, you need to have, that was 20,000 something. Anyway, 2,200. By September 30th, you need to have any field you need to have it planted. And you want to plant it with a winter crop because technically time is fast forwarding through winter. And winter crops in Farmers Dynasty are wheat, barley, and canola. And as you know, based on what I've been talking about, the only one of those three that I care about growing is canola. So I'm honestly surprised and pleasantly surprised that we can grow canola over the winter. And so I will be planting all of these fields after I harvest them. We've got the new field we just bought. So I'm going to cut the canola off of it. And then I am going to replant canola on all three of my fields. And probably what I'm going to try to do is earn enough money one way or another through side missions or whatever, selling eggs, picking apples, stealing apples off of people's trees, all that kind of stuff to try to save up and get a fourth field before September 30th, because then I would have 4 fields, and when I wake up in April 1st, right, you go to sleep September 30th, wake up April 1st, all those fields are going to be ready to harvest. I believe that's what I think is going to happen. All those fields are going to be ready to harvest, and then boom, I'm going to have 4 fields harvested. And I think at that point it's going to get a little out of hand, because I'm going to have 4 fields harvested. I'm going to have my greenhouse that I'm growing over at my farmhouse is going to be ready to sell in September, and then probably again in April when I plant it again in September. It's just going to be ready when I wake up from my winter slumber, and we're going to be in really good shape, like waking up to 4 fields, a full greenhouse. I think we're going to be able to buy immediately like 2 or 3 new fields, harvest those with the proceeds from those, buy another field. Like, the dynasty will begin. That's going to be fun. So getting a little hungry here, eat a little something. And I don't have a whole lot of time left in this day, but let's get I'd like to harvest that field once, or I'd like to get a full grain trailer, and then we're going to sell it, and then we're going to see what the percentage is, and then we're going to know about how much this total field is going to get for us. If you can't tell, I'm like really focused on the optimizing the math of it. Do I need to do that? I mean, no, I guess we could just play, but why not do both? All right, so we have this is our new field here. That's you can kind of see from this view that's our new field, and these are our 2 old fields, original fields. And if I look for that 23,000 I spent, I upgraded from a 0.79, I guess that's a hectare, 0.79 and a 0.89. Can we not just make it 0.8 and 0.9? So it's 1.7, basically, 1.68. I'm going to call it acres. I just can't. And then, so we basically doubled because this is 1.66. So this one field is basically the size of both of those fields combined. And I'm not really pleased with my location, as you know. Wanted to be closer to the drop point over there. You can actually see it in the distance. That's okay. So we are gonna drop that header back down, turn it on. And if it's anything like the other fields, we're not gonna get much more than one pass on this field before this thing is full. It's already at 15%. I'm holding down, just in case you don't know, I'm holding down. It's called Engineer Sight. So Engineer Sight just lets you kind of see some stats about what's going on around you. So we're at 48. Okay, we're gonna get, I mean, this is kind of like a weird pass because I don't know how much it counts on that edge. But you can't get a whole lot more than one pass. Just kind of going to go this way a little bit to make it easier to turn around on future passes. And you only want to fill it up to about 95. You'll see that little signal on the side. It actually starts losing crop at 90, anything above 95. It will overflow the harvester. And typically I would not drive my harvester to unload, but in this case, the harvester is just as fast, if not a little faster actually, than the tractor. So it's actually quicker to drive over to the tractor. And that one load gave us 34% into the trailer. So we can only do that 2 more times. And then we will be headed to drop this off, see what it sells for. And then we'll know about what this field is going to gain us. Looking good. Too fast losing crops. I don't know why I'm in cruise control. I shouldn't be losing crops in cruise control. It might have picked up a little bit on that little downhill right there. I don't think I lost much, if any. Before. 95. All right. Let me get one more. I could park the tractor down on this side of the field and that would be more efficient, but you know what? We're going to survive, folks. I will say I'm impressed with this game. It is definitely scratching the itch that I was hoping it would. Played some of the other farm sim games, or even like cozy games like Harvest Moon, and I was looking for something that felt a little more farmy and a little less farm management-y. And this is doing it for me. I like this. I wanted it to be a small farm. Like when I play Farm Sim, for me, Farming Simulator, I'll go to like DLC and I'll download old farm equipment because I prefer to play with small scale farm equipment. I don't like going like crazy big. I mean, it's fine sometimes, but in that game, it's really hard to find small scale farm equipment. Even with the starter tractors and harvesters and stuff, they're all already kind of larger than small farm equipment. Alright, yeah, that little downhill speeds up the cruise control a little bit. I'm just going to cut all the way across this time, hopefully. Pick up that last 20%, and we'll go drop that at the trailer, and then we'll kind of know where we're at. We're not going to make it all the way across. Alright. You are going too fast. Yeah, but I'm not harvesting, so it's okay. Don't you worry, game. I got it all under control. Alright, so I'm going to wrap this video shortly. All I'm going to do is take this over, dump it, figure out how much money we get, do the quick math on about how much this field is going to make for us. And then what I'll do is, as I start the next episode, I'm going to go ahead and harvest this whole field. Oh no, I totally messed up. I lost some grain there. It's okay though. It's not the end of it shouldn't have been much. It should have been real close. I probably filled it up to about 68 plus 34. What would that be? 102. So I probably lost 2, you know, well, whatever that would be. 2% of a trailer full. So I would say that that's nominal enough that I don't think we have to worry about it. Let's look real quick before we go, just so I can go ahead and have the math worked out. We got this field for 23,000. We have harvested in this trailer, we have harvested 12%. Let's call it 13% just to give us be a little conservative with our numbers, so we'll expect to make a few bucks more than whatever we're going to guesstimate here. So we paid 23,000. We have 13% of the field with us right now, the harvest with us right now. So we're going to head over, sell this, and then let me see how many loads is that basically going to be. It looks like if that's 13%, oh no. Well, that was a mistake. I paused the game and it did not pause, so I lost some social points right there. I'm not a big fan of that. That's okay though. We're not going to fixate on it. Stuff happens. I yeeted through their field. So I paused the game, but it just kept running in the background, which is interesting. Anyway, so we stayed above 50,000 social points. That's what I'm most concerned about. And just FYI, I lost social points for running over a neighbor farmer's field, which makes perfect sense. That would lose you social points in real life. All right, so given that we have 13% of that field in this trailer, we are going to be able to carry 7.7 loads. That's what it's going to take, and that's kind of why I want to be close to the drop point. I'm going to have to do this trip 8 times, right? 70% full load and then 7 full loads. But the point of the 7.7 is that now I know when I drop this, I can multiply this total by 7.7, and that's going to tell me about how much money that entire field is going to get for us. And I'll say, you know, yeah, I think that's fair. I will say also, you know, 23 grand. I spent 800 doing the flyover fertilizer on it, so let's just call it 24 grand. Was my all-in investment to have that filled at the point that it is now. All right, and there's our sell prices. Where'd it go? There they are. So the canola sell price is almost 700. So we currently have 3,161 euros. And now we have 6,100. So 6,100 minus 3,161. So we made 29.39 on that load. And we are going to be able to do that 7.7 times. So we are going to come out with $22,630. Okay. So you kind of see the math there. Like, we paid to fertilize that field and bought the field for $24,000. We're going to harvest that field and drop it off for $22,630. So at that point, and that's largely because it has canola on it, in my opinion. So at that point, we are going to be able to effectively, you know, maybe do a little side mission, maybe sell a little bit of applesauce and a couple of eggs or whatever, and we're going to be able to go grab the next field almost immediately. As long, in my opinion, as long as it's canola. Now, I could test and like grab one of these fields with wheat and kind of find out, but I did a little bit of mental math earlier on the wheat field that was in front of my house, and it did not make nearly as much money as the canola field. Obviously, I mean, just look at the numbers, right? And it seems like you would think that you could harvest more wheat off of a field than canola, just per the weight of the grain and mass of it, and the actual, like, what you're harvesting from the canola plant versus what you're harvesting from a wheat plant. But the game doesn't seem to care. It's just like, hey, look, here's wheat, you harvest it, here's canola, you harvest it, you get that much. And yeah, I could be wrong on that, but I don't think you get like more loads of wheat. Like, there's a higher density. I guess I could test it. But I'm not gonna right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap up. I'm actually gonna listen to the game. I'm gonna head home. I'm gonna harvest the rest of that wheat tomorrow. We have all sunny days. It looks like in 6 days there's gonna be rain. So I just don't want to be harvesting on a rainy day. That's part of the game, which does make sense. You wouldn't harvest fields on a rainy day. So we're not gonna harvest on a rainy day, but we'll get all this done. We have plenty of time. At this point, it's going to be a matter of buying a field, harvesting, selling it, hustling a little bit to make an extra couple $1,000s to buy another field, spray it with fertilizer, and then rinse and repeat. And we'll see how far we can get by the end of this, basically by the end of this season before we hit September 30th. But I think we're gonna do some damage. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.